Religious anxiety. That's what she calls the space between asking God for help and modifying herself into something that ultimately makes things worse overall. Here's an example. In high school, her youth group told her that sex outside of marriage was wrong.
I signed the pledge, got a Bible, and I understood that I was to abstain until marriage.
Except no one ever explained why, or how for that matter. Sure, they said she was worth the wait, because God wants you to save yourself. And because you'd be like a used tissue or flower or some other metaphor that was ridiculous at the time. But no one explained why she couldn't do that on her own. She needed supernatural power to avoid falling into sexual relationships.
So I didn't ask God for help because I didn't need it.
She had kissed maybe 2 boys in her entire life, and one of them turned out to not like girls.
True story.
And she was prideful about the fact that she never struggled with sexual urges. She had instances of sexual ideas introduced at an early age, but not in the way you might think. She was drawn to every movie, show, artist, innuendo. She looked at popular culture to stimulate her. And nothing was more stimulating than a sex scene every now and again, or music saying what sexy women were capable of.
I didn't act on most of that when I was young. Just images, lyrics, ideas that were planted to later grow into bigger problems.
It didn't seem to affect her at first. She didn't act on those ideas until she went to college.
Or I should say, they acted on me.
Yeah.
She went to college with every intention of saving herself for marriage and being a good Christian.
Looking back, I look back at that time and thought that I was really good at being good. I was proud of how little I had experienced sexually. Except no one told me that my virginity was not because of amazing self-control, but rather lack of opportunity. I patted myself on the back often, and I looked down on other women who made other choices.
So back to religious anxiety. That was the space between asking God for help and modifying herself.
The one thing I did not modify was my pride. It congratulated me on a job well done. You locked it down. You got this. You are so good. You don't need to guard yourself so closely. I could relax.
If she liked a guy, she could kiss them, but she wouldn't go further. If a guy wanted to do more, she would refuse, but still, she wouldn't leave. I was modifying constantly, moving the goalposts, adjusting as I went. I got this, I thought. Until lines were crossed, boundaries ignored, innocence gone.
I was curious. He was ruthless. I didn't know it would be. I didn't realize it was. I didn't ask him. I didn't know him. I didn't want it. Religious anxiety.
That space between asking God for help and modifications that ultimately make things worse overall.
Oh.